A few weeks ago, I got this email from an anonymous man saying that me and Lucas could get a free trip first class to Dubai. Usually I don't get emails like this, but I was like, this sounds like a funny thing to do, so maybe we should take this guy up on it. Hopefully it just is like hang out with him because he thinks we're cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's definitely all innocent.
Then we started Googling and we ended up getting scared because we thought that we might have to do things we don't want to do to get all this free stuff. This guy already sent us these tickets to Dubai, first class. So me and Lucas got our little scammer hats on and we called the airline and we ended up switching the flight. Instead of going from LAX to Dubai, we switched it to LAX to Australia.
Yeah, Jacob just blocked the Dubai guy's email and yeah, sucks to be him.
Until the LAX International Terminal, which seems very luxurious. There's a bunch of luxury stores.
But this is honestly all just for show, right? Who's gonna buy a Birkin or a Gucci bag before they go on a flight? Maybe buy it at the destination you're going to if you really want to do that. Like, why would you buy it at the airport before you even leave?
It was time to check out these lounges. You get access to like first class Illuminati lounges when you book a first class flight.
Yeah, these first class people, they do not want to be sitting around in the regular terminal. They have to go into a fancy bougie space that's exclusive and full of disgusting rituals that the public can't know about. Just kidding. It was just a very nice hotel lobby vibe for like a Ritz-Carlton.
It was giant. There was so much open space that wasn't being used. There was a bunch of wine and other goodies that you could just pull up for yourself.
Everything was free. They even gave us a menu of a restaurant. And again, it was all free.
That's probably the crown jewel of this first class lounge, is that there's a restaurant that seems upscale that's all free. They had a thing of salt on the table, big salt crystals, which I want to point out because I honestly don't know if I've ever seen this before.
I think it might just be because you feel kind of bougie grabbing the salt with your hands and sprinkling it rather than shaking it out of a salt shaker. Like, we did not want to be sick for this luxurious trip down under, so we were happy to see on the menu they had an immune booster juice, so we both got that and it tasted amazing. Like the ginger, I just love a drink with ginger in it.
We had a friend with us on this trip. He got calamari and he said it was good. Me and Lucas got tuna sashimi. We were trying to get the biggest bang for our buck, you know? I've never really seen tuna sashimi like this. It came with some tortilla chips, which I'm not gonna lie, at the time I kind of thought that kind of made it seem low class.
Wasn't it sort of like Tostito chips?
I was totally fine with it, but I just didn't know these rich people would be down for that. I thought they'd be mad about that. Nonetheless, this like tuna sashimi nacho shit was good.
Yeah, I just love eating raw meat. Raw fish.
Then I got a seasonal fruit plate and seasonal greens. When I ordered the seasonal greens, I was picturing like arugula and stuff, but then these came. These are just like sweet peas.
Yeah.
Snap peas, I think.
Just from the frozen food part of Walmart.
These were both good, but this is evidence that I don't really understand these fancy menus because I legit thought the tuna sashimi was the main.
I got the roast chicken breast with parsnip puree, thyme juice, carrots, and spiced pecans. It's gluten-free, by the way. I'm not gluten-free, but from time to time, I like to limit my gluten.
I didn't really understand the menu that these were the mains and stuff, so
yeah.
I wasn't trying to be a petite boy, but sometimes the universe has other plans. I guess maybe I'm supposed to be a model or something? I don't know.
I enjoyed it. There's some mashed potatoes underneath the chicken breast. So it sort of was like a banquet TV dinner. You know, when like they have the mashed potatoes, the chicken, the vegetables,
Yeah.
but just plated on a more fancy plate. I ate every bit.
My bladder was getting full, so I went to the bathrooms. They had individual stalls. And right when I walked in, the toilet was full of toilet paper. What?
These rich people are gross.
I know.
Like, girl, flush the toilet.
Wait, I didn't put two and two together till now. These rich people are so used to having servants, peasants do everything for them that they won't even flush the dang toilet. Other than that tragedy, the bathroom was spickety clean, and it kind of reminded me of a horror movie because all the tiles. We also get access to the Qantas Business Lounge, though, so we thought might as well check it out.
Feel bad for the people who only flew business, so we wanted to just go look at them all and like pay our respects to them.
My jaw was to the floor with how uncupped this one was. No, I'm just joking.
Ew, there's a buffet.
You couldn't even wait to sit down. You just like grabbed a few cream puffs and like went to town.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna sit down and eat these. Might as well just eat them by the buffet, you know?
This buffet was cool. Like, yes, I would have eaten it, but I already ate, so I didn't. But the funniest thing is that there was hot Cheetos, but they tried to hide the fact by putting it in one of those fancy glass containers. But it's like, we all know that those are hot Cheetos.
But yeah, the whole time we were in this lounge, we just kept saying really loud, wow, the first class lounge is way nicer since we're flying first class. First class. Not business. A group of people actually surrounded us and started threatening us, so we thought maybe we had to leave.
Yeah, we were being too mean, hating on everyone. So then we went back to the first lounge. I got some tea that was in like this fancy, it just looked fancy. Honestly, I pictured the first class lounge to be a bunch of people on their phones, basically just threatening people. But
yeah,
we didn't get to see that, which was unfortunate. I wanted to see mad rich people that were mad that they aren't making enough money even though they're already in the top 1%.
Yeah, I thought it would be all these rich people like yelling, saying, we aren't going to pay our taxes and we're going to make the lower class pay it. I was so scared Luigi was going to break in though. And we have to be like, you guys, we are not CEOs. Like, we're just doing this for a video.
Anyways, we also got winter palomas. It had like a little part of a pine tree in it. So I do have to give it an A+ for the aesthetic or whatever.
I don't know why I continue to order drinks with mezcal in them. Every time I hate it.
You love sabotage.
It just tastes like you're drinking smoke.
Lucas tried to order a martini, but just so you guys know the drama with rich people, there was no martinis allowed in the first class lounge.
I just want to know who took it too far in the Qantas first class lounge. So now martinis are banned.
This is silly at this point. Let's get on the plane. Since we're flying first class, we boarded first. Wait, let me go back. We actually didn't board first. They actually let families board before us, and at that point I was mad. I was like, why are families boarding before us?
I know, like I saw all these strollers going on the plane and I wanted to be like, what? Like, you guys didn't even pay for first class? Like, what are you doing?
We entered the plane and it was so chill. There was only like 14 seats in the first class part of this plane. And this plane was huge, by the way. It was a double decker. I don't know how many seats they had, but probably a few hundred. We sat down in this giant first class seat. Usually I'm used to sitting down on a plane and a bunch of people walk past you and people are stressed like, where do I put my bags and stuff? Where you sit on this plane, no one walks past you. And I'm assuming it's because these first class people don't want to be around like people in economy or something. I don't know. They probably would start yelling if that happened.
The way the entrances worked, nobody walked through our aisle. You have your own whole space. It feels so spacious. Like, this was the most relaxed I ever felt walking onto a plane. Usually I'm worried about it crashing, but I was like, I don't even care if it crashes. You know what I mean? Like, this is fancy.
And I was thinking about it. I'm pretty sure this one first class seat is 3 regular seats in economy, because wouldn't there usually be 3 rows on a plane, on this giant plane, and there was only 3 seats. Usually there would be 9 seats.
Oh, yeah.
So somehow you do just feel like way less anxious and stuff. And I think it's because like you have so much room.
Yeah, you had so many compartments even. It was like it actually was an apartment. And that kind of brought me a little bit of stress because I was like, I guess I have to unpack everything. and fill up every dresser drawer.
Lucas was right behind me, but it honestly felt like you were so far away. It was kind of weird. It felt like I was flying to Australia all by myself because I had to like look over my seat and do these weird positions to see you.
Yeah, they made it so every seat in first class was sort of private. Like you couldn't see each other.
While you're like super stressed unpacking everything in your apartment, they give you a glass of champagne and olives. Ate those olives. There's a big entertainment system with like a big TV thing.
They actually had a lot of new movies.
I know. I was so excited about that. It's actually crazy because I actually didn't watch anything on this entire plane because trying my hardest to fully quench everything for this first class. Like I want to feel all the emotions so deeply because like I've never done this before.
And we haven't even mentioned this flight is 16 hours.
The seat that you're in massages. I tried it out and I basically just felt like a vibrating thing. It did feel nice, but it wasn't like those massage chairs at the mall where like there's things inside moving. Or is there? I didn't feel that.
Yeah,
it was a different type of thing.
Yeah, it felt more subtle than like a nail salon massage chair.
I didn't use that other than like the 10 seconds I used it to show it on the video.
I actually don't even think I used it once. So I don't even know why I chimed in.
You can move your seat to face the window, and it also lays down and turns into a bed. Then they give you a few things too. They give you pajamas, which neither of us tried on, but I did keep them. So should we try them on now?
Let's do it.
Okay, we just put on the pajamas and they are more cozy and they have more quality than I thought they would be. They're comfortable and honestly, you probably could buy these for $10 at TJ Maxx.
Yeah, it actually makes sense to me. Like I picture these really fancy people wearing suits to the airport because they just got done negotiating a deal that was going to screw over the whole country. So then on the plane, they want to relax, obviously. So then they give them these pajamas to switch into, you know, from their suit. But the reason why we didn't wear them on the plane is because we were already wearing pretty much pajamas.
Okay, how did I forget to mention this, guys? The Qantas logo is a kangaroo. I think it's so cool, like flying Qantas to Australia because you're immediately immersed into the Australian like culture right when you're flying. All the flight attendants have Australian accents. I don't think they're faking it. I think they're actually hiring Australians. Yes, we were at LAX, but it already felt like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Australia because everything around me felt like Australia. And they give you headphones for the entertainment system. They give you slippers, which both of us did use because wearing actual shoes for a 16-hour flight is uncomfortable, and I don't want to walk around barefoot.
Yeah, I wore sandals on the plane, but I was like, might as well switch from sandals to slippers.
And they give you a gift bag that has a toothbrush. It also has an eye mask for sleeping, earplugs for sleeping, a pair of socks, which I think I used, and it has some beauty stuff like hand cream, chapstick, maybe a facial wash. And I do have to admit, in this clip I look kind of uncomfortable, and the reason why I felt uncomfortable is because no one was even looking at me, but I did feel uncomfortable filming, that's all.
Yeah, we must have looked out of place because a man did walk up to me around this time and he said, "You two are flying first?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "How?" Like, and I said, "Oh yeah, we're like influencers and stuff." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, like that's fine." And then he actually let me know that he was like, "Yeah, like just so you know, like this is not a good first class."
And it's so like, girl, like to say.
I was like, I'm having fun, like living luxuriously, but he was like, just so you know, like this isn't, there's better ones. I think he actually went as far to say like, this one's shit. And it's like, boo, look around, how is this shit? Like we're all in mini apartments.
And they also give you a menu that looks like a restaurant menu. There's a lot of foods and liquids that you can consume on this 16-hour flight. When you open up the menu, there's like a message from the CEO saying like, oh my gosh, guys, like everything that we have is so elegant and like it's all like grown like with like it's all cool, good for, I don't know. It's just like, it's like hyping up the whole menu.
Yeah.
It did seem like the flight attendants were always watching you, whether you knew it or not. For example, I was going going to put my backpack up in the compartment above me, and I didn't know how to open it. Yes, that sounds stupid, but I didn't know how to open it. So then I just sat back down, but literally like 30 seconds later, a flight attendant came out and said like, okay, this is how you open it.
Yeah, it seemed like they were always watching, which makes sense because I think there were 2 or 3 flight attendants for literally 14 people.
Obviously, the seat buckle is more safe in first class. It goes across your whole chest. They don't want the people that rule the world to die.
Yeah.
We were on this plane probably for like legit an hour and a half before it went up in the air because someone wanted to leave the flight. I don't know if they got scared for a 16-hour flight or what, but thankfully we got up in the air. And I thought this was a very cool touch. I've never seen this on a plane before. The blinds shut on their own. Like usually on these planes, it's manual. You put it up and down. But on this one, it had like 2 settings, like you can shut the shades and then you can just put a privacy thing up, which I don't, actually like no one's watching in the sky, so you don't need a privacy thing. But I thought that was very fancy. I've never been in a Rolls Royce, but it reminded me of what I picture it to felt. Reminded me, that's not the right word to use because I've never been in one, but you know.
I guess it makes sense because the seat is so big that it actually, you'd have to get out of your seat and move like 2 feet to get to the window.
This is the first class bathroom review. This bathroom was probably slightly bigger than a normal airplane bathroom, but it wasn't anything jaw-dropping.
Yeah, you did have a window.
That is a cool feature.
Remember I read about somebody getting stuck in an airplane bathroom for the entire flight because the door got jammed? And at least if you got stuck in this bathroom, there's a window.
I wish you didn't tell me that. Because I already was a little bit scared of airplane bathrooms.
Thinking about me even
But
now.
yeah, someone left a toilet seat cover on the floor. Seems like it's a trend for these rich people to just leave shit on the bathroom floor and not clean up after themselves. One of the coolest things about this flight is that you can actually eat dinner with someone because there's technically 2 seats in each seat. So me and Lucas were like, let's eat dinner together in the sky. Like, this is honestly the type of shit that seems like a Disney Channel original movie. Having like an upscale dining experience in the sky?
I know, 30,000 feet up.
What? Just to be shady, I will mention that there was a empty Mentos wrapper next to my seat. This dinner started with canopies.
Wait, it's called a supper, by the way. I don't know if that's an Australian thing.
I thought supper was a Midwest thing my whole life.
I know.
So canopies are like appetizers, I guess?
Yeah, but then there's starters. So canopies are more of like an appetizer to the appetizer, I think.
We started out eating the crostini of seared tuna with avocado crema, focaccia, and tomato confit. I don't know what half that means, but me and Lucas both thought it was ham on top. A cracker with some ham on top, but no, it was tuna the whole time. It tasted good even though I didn't know what it was at the time.
It tasted like very creamy.
Now the star of the show for the canopies is the caviar on a little pancake thing. I don't know if I've ever had caviar. I'm assuming not.
I've had it once before. When I had it this time, I also was confused because I feel like it doesn't taste like anything, right?
This little thing did taste really good. It tasted very like, it just like slid down the throat, I guess. but yeah, I didn't like think like it was something I've never had before. I didn't like, it just tastes like salt.
Fish eggs are so cute. They're kind of like Orbeez.
Just taste sour cream. White meat is so beautiful. I don't get it.
We ended up losing the menu in this little crevice, but we asked for a new one and it was fine. But we were like a little bit scared for like a literally only 30 seconds because we thought like, will it start a fire? But there was no fire, so that's good.
It just gives such a little kid energy who won a sweepstakes. Like losing the menu in a crevice. Why are we even playing with the menu and putting it near there?
Then we got the aperitivo. I'm just reading off the menu.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the signature first cocktail. First of all, why is it so tiny? But it had tequila in it. Tasted like medicine to me. It was one of those tequilas that had a vanilla flavor, but it also had like a citrus flavor. Oh, I didn't like it, but I still drank the whole thing.
Yeah, because I feel like this was more of like a sipping drink. Like it wasn't, a cocktail. It was more like when people just pour whiskey in a drink and sip on it. Like it was just pure alcohol. I'm glad we tried it, but to be honest, I also didn't enjoy it because I don't like those tequilas that have vanilla in them. But that's always the bougie tequilas.
They set up the whole table. They put cloths everywhere, give you all this cutlery. I was just living on a cloud, and I guess I was in the clouds. It felt like nothing I've ever seen before.
Just luxury in the sky over the Pacific.
Then we got the starters.
I got the guanciale and ricotta tortellini in broth with asparagus, mushrooms, and parmesan. I love tortellini. I love ravioli. I just love any sort of pasta where it's stuffed. So I was very excited, and I even got to use the fancy salt. I sprinkled some over the dish.
There was a bunch of shrooms in it too. I got the signature steak sandwich with tomato and chili relish, and I am not joking, guys. It tasted exactly like the McRib from Mickey D's, McDonald's.
You were raving about this one.
It was like nothing I've had before. It was
Except a McRib.
No, but yes, it tasted the same, but I will admit this little like rich persona in my brain did make me think that it tasted better, even though it tasted the exact same.
It does say it's their signature, so it has to slap.
It was great, and I was just so excited. Like, this is only the starter. I was sipping on the champagne. Honestly, this was the beginning of the stomach ache era of the trip. I feel like something about sipping champagne, eating this airplane food, it gives you a little bit of a stomach ache. I don't know if it's from being in the sky or what, or maybe we just eat too much.
Maybe it's also from just having a dinner right before this in the lounge.
Yeah, it's probably from eating too much. I shouldn't blame the airline for a stomach ache.
Yeah, we could have held back in the lounge, but we decided to have a full-on dinner there and then have a full-on dinner again just a couple hours later with all these weird drinks in between, mezcal, immunity boosters. But I don't regret it. I feel like if you're gonna fly first class, you should get a stomach ache from over-consuming.
I know.
What are you doing? Get your money's worth.
Now it's time for the mains. This came with bread and a salad. They had like 3 choices of bread to choose from. We both chose the olive loaf. And the salad, I think, was like arugula with like balsamic. You probably could choose different dressings. For my main, I did get the ancho chili and hazelnut braised beef cheek with soft tortillas and tomato with... Yeah, anyways, it was basically a fiesta fajita moment.
Butt cheek. Like you ate the butt cheek of it, right? That's
yeah.
what I was guessing.
Now I'm reading it. Hazelnut braised butt cheek. That sounds weird, but it did taste good. And when I ordered this, I didn't even read the bottom of it that it came with tortillas. So when I saw the tortillas, I was like, oh my gosh, I love Taco Bell and like Chipotle. So basically what I'm saying is that I thought this first class food was gonna be all this gross fancy stuff. But then when I saw the tortillas, I was like, it feels like home.
I instead got the roasted chicken breast with fondant potatoes, balsamic glazed sapali, onions, chorizo, and thyme juice. It was also gluten-free, because like I said, I like to be gluten-free from time to time. And this was kind of a flop on my part because I had just eaten chicken breast in the lounge, so why did I get it again? I remember not really enjoying this as much as the other things we had on the plane because I don't even know what chorizo is, but the juice or whatever. It sounds like I just said juice, but juice. Like, how do you say that word?
Just juice? I don't know.
But whatever that was underneath the chicken breast, I remember it had kind of like a fruity flavor. This raspberry flavor in a way, which just kind of turned me off. I didn't really eat that much of mine. Maybe also because I was full because we just had a full-on dinner.
Since Lucas didn't really eat any of his, he handed the plate to me and I kind of finished it off. We didn't do this, but I'm pretty sure you can order as much as you want. So like if, for example, we weren't full yet, we could order another menu item, which makes sense because you're flying first class, so. Yes, these meals were fancy. Yours was actually fancy because it's the type of thing which is kind of boring if I'm being completely honest. But mine was the star of the show. It was It was a superstar on Hollywood Boulevard. That's what I would refer to mine as.
I love how they had yours there because usually these fancy type places, they only have pick a meat, pick a vegetable, but yours was kind of a different type of thing. Tortillas on the side. Like they're branching out, which I liked.
Then it was time for dessert. There was a bunch of options. Both of us chose the ice cream, and they gave us a mini Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream container. I truly don't care. But for these like first class enthusiasts, I would just assume that some of them would say that this isn't up to first class standards.
Like it should be placed into a bowl with a gold spoon next to it. But I kind of have a theory that they put it in the Haagen-Dazs container as more of a rustic moment. That's what I was thinking, at least.
Both of us had 3 little tiny bites and pushed it aside. Dinner is fully concluded, so now it's time for drinking. Because you get a bunch of free drinks, we have to drink. I mean, that's our excuse, I guess.
It's all included. So if you don't drink, you're wasting money. You're leaving money on the table.
They had a selection of premium Australian beer. I'm reading that straight from the menu. We started out with Cooper's. When we said we wanted to get this, the flight attendant was like, oh, do you want to make it a whole taste test moment? We give you a bunch of Australian beers and like you try them. We didn't really do that, but like it was cool that like we had the opportunity to like have basically a whole taste test moment. Yeah, and they also gave us a big bowl of nuts.
We were joking while we were having this little moment of, wouldn't it be so funny to make it such a moment drinking at the house? Like if you were at someone's house and like they brought you beer with glasses and they also brought a little tiny cute bowl of peanuts. Like I feel like stuff like that just makes life a moment. And I feel like I personally never make anything a moment when I'm just at the house, but I kind of want to be one of those people who makes everything a moment. Like when I have beer at the house, like I should pour it in a glass. You know what I mean? I feel like stuff like that can cure depression.
We were full on throwing a shindig. I'm pretty sure we were just having conversation after conversation, laughing, but then we realized they were dimming the lights because they basically want to force everyone to go to bed.
So then we were kind of thinking, oh crap, we can't really like talk anymore because everyone's trying to sleep.
But what's really cool about this flight, never seen this before. So it's a two-decker flight. If you walk up the stairs, you can enter a lounge where you can be free, be loud, because you're in your own little space.
And to further emphasize how the flight attendants watch your every move, the second we got out of our seats and walked towards the lounge, a flight attendant popped out of nowhere and said, you guys are gonna love it up there. You guys are gonna have so much fun in the lounge. Like, I'm so excited for you.
Right away, another flight attendant handed us more mixed nuts.
And this was actually where there was a little bit of a fight moment between me and the flight attendant because I wanted more of a light beer because I was sort of having a stomach ache from all of my overconsumption. So I was like, I just need a beer that I know was light. And I didn't know what any of these Australian beers were or if any of them were light. And I've noticed that if you ask like somebody, can I have a light beer? Like they don't really get what that means. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, they always like think you're talking about 0 alcohol or
I know, they're like,
whatever.
oh, you want like a non-alcoholic beer? It's like, no, I want like one with alcohol, but just like not many calories. But anyway, I asked her stupidly if they had Michelob Ultra, and then she said, well, you're traveling, so it's probably a good idea to try new things.
The whole point of traveling is to try new stuff.
Yeah, which I do want to try new stuff, but again, like my stomach did hurt, but I was like, whatever, it's worth it. Like I should be trying these Australian beers.
We were probably in this lounge, no joke, probably 2 hours. There was a huge map on a screen in front of us showing like the flight destination and showing the whole globe. And for most of the time, we just were talking about how crazy Earth is and how crazy it is that we're flying over an ocean right now. And also how like if you do look at Earth, you do kind of realize like it's kind of small. And I mean, it's huge. It was just it was interesting looking at Earth in that moment.
And then every now and then we would think about it too deeply, how we were over a vast ocean and it kind of scared us, but then you'd brush off the thought. Nobody else was in the lounge. So it made me think, is the lounge kind of a waste of space for these airlines because no one's even utilizing it?
We were done with the lounge, so we were like, let's go to bed. And it is crazy how much of an actual bed it is. Like I said, you get a mattress pad that's like maybe 2 inches. You get a few covers, pillows, of course.
And then the way they set it up was so cute, how a little bit of the blanket was folded up. Like it was just so nice. Right when I laid down, the flight attendant ran up. I didn't even know she was watching. And she said, okay, time for bed. Do you need anything? And I was like, no, I'm good, but
It was so dark in the first class cabin, and the bed was so cozy that even though I wasn't that tired, I slept like a daisy. Yes, I did wake up a few times to go to the bathroom, and my stomach hurt from like just overconsumption of food and beverages. But I honestly probably got a good 6 hours of sleep or so because it was just so cozy. This is 100% the biggest perk of flying first class. Actually get the chance to have like proper sleep. It's actually pretty insane that they're able to do this. And I kept thinking like, we're above like the middle of the ocean and I'm sleeping in a tube in the sky. Like what the actual frick is happening? I'm just amazed.
did you utilize the eye mask and earplugs?
No, I didn't utilize either.
I did both. And I feel like that brought me to such a deep REM state. I slept for 8 hours, I'm pretty sure. And I guess I did wake up a few times to go pee and stuff, but that just happens every night of my life.
Time goes by and there's no alarm that wakes you up for breakfast. No flight attendants are poking you saying, wake up. Basically, you just wake up naturally because they open the windows and you see a bright sky. The sky was so beautiful that morning and I woke up naturally because all this light was in my face and I wasn't even mad, I was glad.
Even though I had my earplugs on, I started hearing some pots clanging and dishes, so I got excited thinking, I think I even started to smell breakfast. So I was like, okay, time to get up, breakfast.
I wasn't hungry at all because I was full from last night, but I was still excited.
Yes, a whole nother meal.
If I was always flying internationally and somehow I was always flying first class, I swear in a few months I would be on my 600-pound life. It's very cool because I set up the table, or they set up the table, put the cloth on, but I literally was basically eating breakfast in bed because I still have the covers over me. They did take the mattress part off though because you aren't sleeping anymore, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it, but yeah, I went to the bathroom when I woke up and then I came back and the mattress pad was off. I actually spent my breakfast time watching a film. I watched DD. It's a movie which is kind of ironic. It's about a guy who makes YouTube videos, and here we are in a YouTube video where I'm watching a movie about someone doing YouTube, and you're watching the YouTube video, you know?
Worlds collide.
Yeah, but I very much enjoyed the movie, and it was just a great thing to wake up to and just have on while I enjoyed my luxurious brekkie.
I got cold pressed green juice. I'm always gonna get immune boosters and green juice if it's on a menu and it's free because they always actually taste good because basically they put all this gross spinach juice in it and stuff. I don't even know if that actually does anything because if you're just juicing it, does that do anything? But then they add apple juice, I'm assuming, and that's what gives it the luxurious, luminous flavor.
I actually just got a coffee for my beverage, and it was funny because I said, I just want a black coffee. And she said, okay, I'll give you a long black. And I thought, oh, but that's espresso. I said, oh, can I just have black coffee though? Like I assumed they had filter coffee back there. But she said, no, I'll give you a long black. There was a slight miscommunication, but I was glad because long blacks are sort of Australian, so I was just gonna start living the Australian life, long blacks.
You can pick some items like cereal and yogurt and stuff from the bakery to start. I got Nail's healthy butcher muesli with apple and hazelnut. I don't know who Nail is, but I got that. And then I got a cherry Danish, and then I didn't ask for it, but they gave me a seasonal fruit salad. Seasonal fruit salad was excellent. I actually don't remember, but I like fruit, so I liked it. Then I moved on to the muesli. Muesli is such an Australian thing. They have it everywhere. I loved it. It had raisins in it or cranberries, but it's so good because these raisins are soaked in this milk, and it's okay, so you know raisins that are wrinkly? It's like if a raisin got so much Botox. It's oh! At this point, I truly wasn't hungry, but there was a cherry Danish in front of me that I asked for. So I, of course, ate the cherry Danish, and oh my gosh, it was warmed. I never have bakery items for breakfast, but I had to live because it's this whole thing where it's is this Dubai man ever gonna pay for me to go first class again? I don't know, so I'm gonna fully live. So
I kind of didn't do good with my breakfast, to be honest. I don't know if it was because I just woke up up, but like I didn't ask for anything. I didn't get any sort of green juice. Like I just got the avocado toast, and then she said, do you want like fruit with it? And I said yes, so I got that. I'm gonna never regret this for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh. That would suck to be you.
I
honestly.
know. Like imagine flying first class and you just blow it at breakfast. Like I blew it. Sometimes when you're in that hungover vibe, you're grossed out by everything. And unfortunately that was me. Like
I remember
thinking that tomato was so gross. But like I actually like tomatoes, but I think that's kind of how pregnant people are. Don't their taste buds completely change? So I was sort of in a pregnant moment.
Which I mean, both of us probably looked a little bit pregnant from all the bloat. I got the warm cornbread with cold smoked salmon, and it has all this other stuff in it. Okay, but the reason why I got this is first of all because I love smoked salmon, but second of all, cornbread and salmon. Okay, so I always thought cornbread was like part of the South in the United States. But is cornbread also an Australian thing? Because it seems like the menu is leaning towards Australia because you're literally on a Qantas flight. But it was so good. Like sometimes smoked salmon, they give you like these gross pieces. Like sometimes they give you like these fatty pieces that are kind of gross. They picked the best parts of the salmon for me to chow down on. They had this cream spinach on the side. You would think, ew, spinach, oh my God. But it was so good. Like I ate everything, and I remember just at this point, I felt so blissful because like everything was so delicious, but I also just was like, I need to take 8 hours off of eating because like why do I feel like I'm doing an eating competition? And then I got a flat white for my coffee, which is also an Australian coffee type thing. Whoa. Then I went to the bathroom, and I don't want to do a little TMI tag moment. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. But this was my first time ever pooping on a plane. I gotta say, I felt like royalty because usually I don't have the luxury of pooping on a plane because usually on a plane there's like hundreds of seats and there's only 2 bathrooms, so people are waiting always. But there's only 14 seats and there's 2 bathrooms in this first class cabin, so most of the time people aren't waiting.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Have you ever pooped on a plane? I'm just gonna guess no.
I have.
You have?
But I didn't on this one, just in case anyone was wondering.
I brushed my teeth with the thing in the gift bag. It was excellent. It made me feel so clean. And then I used like their chopstick stuff, and I put some hand cream all over my face because you get so dry on these planes. Oh my gosh. I was so dry. Gosh dang. Something that's very cool is that they have a live stream of the tail of the airplane. I've never seen this on any other airlines, but I thought that was a very cool feature. By the way, we had no Wi-Fi on this plane, so we were like completely just like separated from the world. Like the craziest shit could be happening on land and we would have no idea, which honestly felt a little bit freeing. We landed safely. Thank you, universe. Thank you, gods, whoever controls everything, or maybe no one does. I just gotta say, this was such a memorable experience.
Thankful I got to experience it. Take a deep breath, everyone.
Bye, bye, bye. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, guy. You watching?